All this stuff? Oh, this stuff is still my wife. Like, I don't collect nearly like anything. I am not a collector. She does like all of this Oriental stuff. I'm not sure why. I mean, this like little creeper here, this little creeper here is mine. This little plushy creeper. I got one thing up here. I mean, like the Star Wars bobbleheads, those are mine. Like, if you see anything Star Wars here, up there, Star Wars anything, that's mine. I can see if... No, this is still more of my wife's stuff. Okay. I mean, I got a mug. Oh, one more Star Wars thing. There's these two little Legos right here. These two little guys. There's Boba Fett. There's Chewbacca. And then that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I got. I guess I started recognizing that something was wrong when I was in elementary school and the kids treated me like much differently, not just like differently because I'm outside their circle, but much differently than like everybody else. And I never quite understood why. But I felt like what really made the difference, or when I really found out, was in high school. I found out that I have Asperger's, which is a higher functioning form of autism. It's a more mild form of autism on the spectrum. And it really has more to do with social context rather than like social context and interaction rather than like cognitive things. So I can still understand and process intellectual and academic things. The things that's hard for me is that I can't register social cues. If someone does the whole like, oh yeah, that's great, they're smiling, but they're shaking their head, and most people just recognize me like, oh no, I'm overstepping some bounds here, it just goes over my head. Having Asperger's was made making friends at school very complicated due to social circles and the social structure that school usually takes on with cliques and stuff like that. It was a lot easier for me to make friends outside of school, usually at like parties or parks or other places. I came to terms with having this mental condition by trying to understand it and trying to understand my limitations because of it. Because when I did my research on it and on my own and I figured out a lot about it, I was able to start to understand where my limits were. When I was younger, it was harder to comprehend it because I didn't know it. So before I really figured out what I had, I didn't understand it at all. I just thought I was really bad at making friends. Growing up with it and understanding it as I did, I wish my brother knew more about it because that kept us apart in a lot of areas. Because he just didn't understand that I didn't understand a lot of things and that I didn't understand that, the small hints if he didn't want me around, and that those things just went over my head and I was incapable rather than just ignoring him. Really, when someone's just being sarcastic, you feel like that they're just intentionally being rude. And you just don't know any different because of being incapable of recognizing. Even though you may try to understand and you may try to talk to people about it saying, hey, I'm sorry if I come across kind of weird, I have this thing, people still don't understand. Eventually, when you understand that it's just social things that is hard to understand or hard to grasp or hard to recognize, you can at least start being good at guessing. And that guessing will at least get you further and help you with that understanding more than just giving up.